Hey, guess what? It's me. I'm back. Week 12 NFL is kind of almost over. It's Tuesday. We have this weird thing with the Ravens. They caught a bunch of COVID, and the Steelers game, it originally got pushed back from Sunday to Tuesday. Today's Tuesday. They postponed it from today to tomorrow. So week 12 is almost over. Most of the games have been played. There's this one game that's still out there. And I think this is probably, we're getting pretty close to the time where the NFL is going to talk about week 18. But that is not why we are here. We are here because, again, Week 12 is almost over. Most of the big names have already played, and we have our top 5 NFL MVP candidates. And this week we're going to talk about what we have going on here at Choop and what Vegas has going on. We're going to see how it stacks up. So right off the bat, let's start with number 5. So we have Big Ben Roethlisberger here at Choop. Vegas has Derrick Henry plus 2,500 currently. That is according to FanDuel. Let's pop over here. We got Big Ben. We're going 2020 stats. We're going with our picks. So we got Big Ben's 2020 stats. Let's be honest. The reason that he's on this list and he's in the conversation, albeit pretty far behind, but right here, the win-loss record, 10-0. Only undefeated team in the NFL. And, I mean, they're primarily a passing team at this point. Their rushing game isn't really there, so it's on Big Ben's shoulders. They throw and they play good defense. So win-loss, biggest reason why he's here. Other than that, he is having a very good year, a very good bounce-back year for Big Ben. Yards, passing yards, he's got 2,500 passing yards, complete 67% of his passes, and he's got a great touchdown-interception ratio, 24-5. It's almost 5-1. It's almost 5-1, so he's having a hell of a year. But really the biggest reason, there's some heavy hitters up there, top of the list. Biggest reason why he's here in the conversation in the top 5 is because of that big 10-0 record. So now, that being said, let's get to number 4. So us in Vegas, we swapped our 4 and 5. We have Derrick Henry, King Henry, as our number 4 here. And Vegas has Big Ben coming in at a plus 2,000 underdog. Coming in, his odds are plus 2,000 here in Vegas. But we have King Henry. Let's pop over here. 2020 stats. Big one. The Tennessee Titans are 8-3. They are a run-first team. They know, defenses know, we need to stop this guy, and he's still going up. Case in point, this past weekend against the Indianapolis Colts, he ran for 170 yards and 3 touchdowns. And everyone that plays Tennessee knows we stop him, we have a good chance of winning this game. I mean, Ryan Tannehill's having a very good year, but this is what makes the Tennessee Titans go. They're 8-3 behind him. He's got 1,257 rushing yards, leads the NFL. He's got 12 rushing touchdowns. And the big thing that separates him from a guy like Dalvin Cook, who has very similar stats, except, obviously besides the win-loss record, the Vikings aren't really having a great year. Still in playoff contention, but the big thing that separates him from a guy like Dalvin Cook is right here. 0 fumbles. He has not fumbled the ball 1 time this year, whereas Dalvin Cook has fumbled it 3 and lost 2. So that is why Derrick Henry is our number 4. And now, let's get on to our number 3. So we have Big Russ Wilson here at number 3. Vegas actually has 2 guys tied for 2, so when we reveal this guy, we'll reveal what they have. They have 2 guys with the same odds. So Big Russ Wilson, like I said, a couple weeks ago he hit a rough patch where he was turning the ball over a lot. They won. They beat the Eagles last night. They were the Monday Night Football game. He had a good game. Didn't have a great game. DK Metcalf was definitely the standout guy, but Russell Wilson did so much early on in the year that he's obviously going to be in top 5 throughout the whole year because he had such a big lead early on. But like I said, he's coming back to the pack and he's fallen down. He was the clear-cut front runner early on, but you don't give the MVP award out, season-long MVP award in the first half of the year. So Russ is kind of falling back. He's number 3. Let's bump over 2020 stats. Seahawks 8-3, good record. Fighting for that potential number 1 seed in the NFC. He's thrown for 3,200 yards. His completion percentage is just under 71%, and he's thrown 31 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Good number of touchdowns. I think that's second in the league. 31, 10 interceptions. Close to the top. I think that's definitely top 10, potentially top 5 in the NFL in interceptions. So that stretch where he had the big turnover is really what kind of dropped him in the eyes of me and so many others in terms of the MVP race. But it is what it is. He's still there, and hey, if he gets hot again, there's a chance. I mean, he's still close enough where he can definitely get himself back into the conversation to potentially win it. He's still there. close enough where, again, a big finish out to the year could get him back to the top. So now, 3's done. Let's go to number 2. Aaron Rodgers. This past weekend, they had the Sunday Night Football slot against the Chicago Bears. He threw 4 tutties. He only threw for roughly like 210 yards, just over 200 yards. But, I mean, me personally, I think this was the best game I've seen him play in terms of his accuracy. He was pinpoint accurate. He was making plays. Vintage Aaron Rodgers. Definitely number 2 for me. And Vegas, they had a tie. I think it's clear cut. Aaron Rodgers ahead of Russell Wilson, but according to Vegas and people that have money on it, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson are tied. They both have odds of plus 650, which is very far off for the number 2 guy. And you'll see why when we reveal number 1. I'm sure you guys already know. But while we're still on Aaron Rodgers, let's bump over to 2020 stats to let you know why he still potentially has a shot to get up to that number 1 spot. So, win-loss. Packers are 8-3. The 3 losses weren't great, but they're 8-3, and he's got them in a position with the Saints, with Drew Brees sidelined for the Saints, to get the 1 seed in the NFC. They have the tiebreaker head-to-head against the Saints, so he's got a chance to get them the number 1 seed in the bye in the playoffs when there's only 1 this year, so that's important. 8-3 good record. 3,100 yards passing on the button, completing 68.5% of his passes. And this touchdown to interception ratio is pretty ridiculous. He's thrown 33 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Literally, he's only thrown 88 interceptions in his career, which is just mind-boggling, out of this world. Aaron Rodgers, number 2, keeping it close. Still has a chance with stats like this to get to that 1 spot. Just like Russell Wilson, he gets hot coming down the stretch. He is hot, but he gets even hotter, turns the heat up that much more. Definitely has a chance to win his 3rd MVP of his career. So, without further ado, I'm sure you probably already guessed it, but let's reveal number 1. It's Patty Mahomes. Of course, it's Patty Mahomes. He's the best quarterback on the best team. Best quarterback in the NFL, best team. I think he's obviously the clear-cut front runner at this point. Vegas agrees. Minus 400. If you're looking to get in on this particular player prop, this is not financial advice. I'm not an expert, but right here, Patrick Mahomes, minus 400, probably a little too late to get in on him. You need to put down a lot of money to win a little bit of money. But if you want to bet on the MVP, outside chances, all right, we went over the stats. These guys are pretty close. I wouldn't pick any of these. I wouldn't pick these guys, Big Ben, Derrick Henry. But if you're going to look, you want to throw a little bit of money with the potential for a good return, look at Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson. Like I said, all it takes is, I mean, there's still 5 games left. These guys ball out of their mind. He doesn't. They could easily overtake Patrick Mahomes for the MVP. I mean, he can go on a 2-game losing streak, and right there, Rodgers, Russell Wilson, they're up. So if you want to get in, if you like one of these guys more than the other, or you think that one of these 2 guys, you look at the schedule and think they're going to get hot, definitely put some money on them. But Patrick Mahomes, clear-cut front runner, and this is why. Let's go over the stats. Chiefs, 10-1. Very good record. Like I said, in my opinion, best team, not only in the AFC, but in the NFL. They just showed that. They pretty much laid a beat down on the Buccaneers this past weekend. Patrick Mahomes threw for 360 yards in the first half. Tyreek Hill had 200 yards, but Patrick Mahomes ended up with 400. I thought he was going to set the single-game passing yards record at halftime because he was just throwing it all over the place, and they couldn't stop him. And the Buccaneers have a pretty good defense because they made this guy a little injured. They made this guy look pretty bad when they played him. Again, they had some guys out for the Bucs, but Mahomes just had his way with them. But just under 3,500 yards for the season, completing just under 69%. And Aaron Rodgers' touchdown to interception ratio is ridiculous. Mahomes is even better. He's got 30 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. 30 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. That's ridiculous. I don't even know how the guy does it. He's best quarterback in the NFL. Probably going to be that way for the immediate future. And currently, as of week 12, clear-cut front runner for the MVP in my eyes and according to Vegas. But again, if you're looking to put some money on this, I would look at these 2 guys because if either of them get hot and he falls off and the Chiefs lose a game or 2 down the stretch, one of these 2 guys could easily overtake Patrick Mahomes. By no means does he have this thing locked up. Does he have it in his trophy case for the 2nd time in his career. by no means. These guys still have a shot. I wouldn't look anywhere past that. Not Big Ben, not Derrick Henry, not Josh Allen. It's too late. There's not enough games. I don't think either of those guys have a shot. So if you're looking to put money again, it's one of these two guys for sure. No one else. They have good odds, good return on your money, but it's going to be tough. I mean, he's going to need to lose it. Patrick Mahomes is going to need to lose it. They're not going to do anything to win it without him falling off a little bit, even just slightly. But that's it. Week 12, MVP candidates almost over. This guy still has to play Ravens, Steelers. Maybe by the next time we do this, there's a week 18 in the NFL because of COVID. I don't know. You don't know. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.